the dumbest influencer deaths ever.
Selfie gone fatal. Arina Glazunova, a 24-year-old Russian influencer, had built her following on dance videos and lifestyle content that showcased her travels. On September 27, 2024, she was visiting Tbilisi, Georgia, a popular destination for content creators seeking exotic backdrops. After a night of club hopping in the city center, Glazunova decided her followers needed one more update. It was just after 3 a.m. when she began filming herself singing while walking through the dimly lit metro station near Freedom Square. The Tbilisi subway system is known for its deep stations and long, steep escalators. Glazunova, looking into her phone's front camera rather than at her surroundings, approached what appeared to be a regular staircase. Her phone captured her smiling face, completely unaware of the danger ahead. What she mistook for a standard stairwell was actually an emergency maintenance access point with a straight vertical drop of 40 feet to the tracks below. In the video, recovered later from her damaged phone, Glazunova can be seen mid-sentence when her expression suddenly changes. There's a moment of realization as her eyes widen. The camera becomes chaotic, spinning wildly as she loses her footing. Witnesses reported hearing a scream cut abruptly short. The phone continued recording as it fell alongside her. Medical examiners later determined that Glazunova did not die immediately from the impact. The fall caused multiple fractures to her skull and spine, but she remained conscious for nearly 2 minutes. Security footage showed her attempting to move, dragging herself a few inches while bleeding heavily from head wounds. The phone landing nearby continued filming, capturing her final moments as she struggled to breathe, her lungs filling with blood from internal injuries. Emergency services were alerted by a station cleaner who discovered her body 30 minutes later, but by then, Arina Glazunova had already died from a combination of blood loss and traumatic brain injury. Her last video, never intended to be published, was later shared by hackers who accessed her cloud storage. Died while chasing bridgetop content. Lewis Stevenson, a 26-year-old British influencer with over 500,000 followers, built his brand on increasingly dangerous...
I bet you I kind of zoned out for a second there. I was like really locked into the video, bro. So I'm gonna head back to like the beginning of that for a second. Oh,
when she began filming herself singing while walking through the dimly lit metro station near Freedom Square. The Tbilisi subway system is known for its deep stations and long, steep escalators. Glazunova, looking into her phone's front camera rather than at her...
Okay. Never mind. I figured it out. All right. So, yeah, she just was not paying attention, bro. All right. Lock in.
Chasing bridgetop content. Lewis Stevenson, a 26-year-old British influencer with over 500,000 followers, built his brand on increasingly dangerous stunts. His content featured urban exploration and climbing tall structures without safety equipment.
Dude, I remember when I was younger, I used to watch shit like that, bro, and it would like make me feel genuinely scared, bro. Like it would make me feel like uncomfortable in my own skin watching people do shit like that, because I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, they're gonna fall, and it's just like, it's scary, you know, to me when I was like a kid and shit, you know, that shit scared the fuck out of me, bro.
By October 2023, he was struggling to maintain viewer interest. His engagement numbers were dropping. He needed something spectacular. The Castilla-La Mancha Bridge in central Spain offered exactly what Stevenson was looking for. Standing 160 feet above the Tagus River, its dramatic arches and remote location made it perfect for viral content. Stevenson arrived at dawn on October 15th, carrying only his phone and a small stabilizer for filming. No harness, no safety line, no spotters. Stevenson's final
Yo, wait. I actually think I've seen this video, like the video of this dude falling. Like, I'm not even playing.
Video showed him smiling as he climbed over the safety barrier and began scaling the outside of the bridge's support structure. "This is going to break the internet," he told his viewers as he inched along a narrow beam. The winds that day were gusting at 25 miles per hour.
Yo, hold up.
Weather reports later confirmed unusual turbulence in the valley. 8 minutes into the live stream, Stevenson reached for a handhold that was slick with morning dew. His finger slipped. The phone captured his face, transitioning from confidence to sudden terror. He made a desperate grab for the beam but missed by inches. The livestream continued as he plummeted. Forensic analysis of the video revealed Stevenson remained conscious throughout the fall. His screams were clear and continuous for the entire 3-second drop. He was aware of what was happening. The phone, still gripped tightly, recorded his facial expressions changing from shock to resignation in those final moments. When his body struck the rocky riverbank, the impact shattered virtually every bone. Investigators noted he didn't die instantly. The autopsy revealed Stevenson's heart continued beating for approximately 40 seconds after impact. He was unable to move, but fully aware as his internal organs failed one by one. Blood filled his lungs. His brain, protected briefly by his skull, registered pain signals until finally shutting down. Died after trendy
Oh, bro. Good thing I'm scared of heights, bro. I would
cosmetic
never
procedure.
do some dumb shit like that, bro. That would just... I don't get why people do shit like that, bro. I really don't understand it.
Junior
Some crazy
Dutra,
shit,
whose
bro.
legal name was Adair Mendez Dutra Jr., had amassed over 2 million followers across multiple platforms showcasing his luxurious lifestyle in Sao Paulo, Brazil. At 31, he was known for constantly transforming his appearance through cosmetic procedures, documenting each enhancement for his audience.
My bad.
In May
Trying to fix
2024,
the positioning
Dutra
of
announced
my
he would
mic.
undergo the trending fox eyes procedure, a technique that uses specialized threads to pull the outer corners of the eyes upward for an elongated almond shape. The procedure
There we
itself was relatively quick, taking less than an hour at an upscale clinic in central Sao Paulo. Dutra live-streamed late portions of the pre-operation consultation, joking with followers about becoming even more perfect. He chose a surgeon who offered a discount in exchange for promotion on his accounts. Investigation would later reveal this doctor had been practicing for less than 2 years. The first signs of trouble appeared within hours. Dutra posted images showing unusual redness and swelling around his temples. "Worth the pain for beauty," he captioned, dismissing concerned comments. By the next morning, the swelling had increased dramatically. His right eye
Why get cosmetic procedures, bro? Like, genuinely, bro. I just don't think it's worth the risk at all, bro. Like, plus the effects that it's gonna have on you, like, cause it's not gonna make you look good forever. You're gonna look good, like, now, but over time, it's gonna start to look like shit. Because, you're aging, bro. You're still going to get older and look older. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, there's shit you can do to prevent it, but eventually you're just gonna be like too old to be getting those surgeries, bro. And then it's like, oh damn, I just wasted all this money and all that time for what? You know what I'm saying?
was completely shut, and a distinct yellow discharge had begun seeping from the incision points. Medical records showed Dutra visited an emergency room 48 hours after the procedure.
Dutra?
Incision points. Medical records showed Dutra visited an
That's one of my ex's last
emergency room
names, bro.
48
That's
hours after the
crazy.
procedure with a temperature of 103 degrees. Doctors immediately identified a severe infection spreading along the thread pathways. The bacteria had already penetrated deep tissue and was advancing toward his brain. Antibiotics were administered intravenously, but the infection had established itself too firmly. On day 4, Dutra began experiencing neurological symptoms. His speech slurred, and he lost feeling on the right side of his face. His final social media update, a shaky video filmed from his hospital bed, showed him struggling to form words. "Something's wrong," he managed to say before the video cut off. By the 5th day, the infection reached his meninges, the protective membrane surrounding his brain. His body temperature spiked to 105 degrees. Seizures began, each one more violent than the last. Despite aggressive medical intervention, including surgical drainage and maximum dose antibiotics, Junior Dutra's organs began shutting down one by one. Septic shock claimed his life exactly 1 week after the procedure that was meant to boost his views. The live-streamed flight gone wrong. Tang Feiji had spent 3 years building his following on Chinese social platforms by attempting increasingly daring stunts. At 29, he had already jumped from bridges and raced motorcycles without licenses or training. By March 2024, Tang needed something more extreme to maintain his 2 million followers. He purchased a twin-rotor ultralight aircraft online for approximately $15,000. The machine arrived partially assembled with minimal instructions.
Yo, chat. Damn, I zoned out for a moment, bro. What? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Streaming.
Wrong. Tang Feiji had spent 3 years building his following on Chinese social platforms by attempting increasingly daring stunts. At 29, he had already jumped from bridges and raced motorcycles without licenses or training. By March 2024, Tang needed something more extreme to maintain his 2 million followers. He purchased a twin-rotor ultralight aircraft online for approximately $15,000. The machine arrived partially assembled
Nah, bro, I would love to get an ultralight plane, bro. That'd be cool as fuck, yo. Like fly an ultralight plane, you know what I'm saying?
with
Just
minimal
like a little
instructions. Tang
one-seater plane,
documented
bro.
his
Just
assembly process over
myself,
two
a camera, some music, bro. That'd be sick.
weeks, frequently consulting YouTube videos rather than aviation experts. When followers pointed out safety concerns in the comments, "Stations are for cowards," he replied. "Real content requires real risks." On March 18th, Tang set up 3 phone cameras at a remote airstrip in James County. One mounted inside the cockpit, one on the aircraft's exterior, and one on a tripod to capture the takeoff. His livestream began with Tang excitedly showing viewers the aircraft. "Today we fly without permission," he announced. "No license needed for this beauty." Aviation experts later noted Tang made numerous critical errors during pre-flight checks. He failed to properly secure the fuel line. The weight distribution was dangerously imbalanced. Most crucially, he had modified the engine to deliver more power than the frame was designed to handle. The takeoff initially seemed successful. Tang climbed to approximately 400 feet, narrating excitedly to his audience. 7 minutes into the flight, a loud metallic snap was heard on the audio feed. The aircraft shuddered violently. Tang's expression changed from excitement to panic as he realized something was seriously wrong. The right rotor had fractured under stress. The imbalance sent the aircraft into an uncontrollable spin. Viewers watched in real time as Tang frantically tried to regain control. "It's breaking apart!" he screamed. The camera captured his terror as the ground rushed toward him. The impact wasn't immediately fatal. The cockpit camera continued streaming as flames erupted from the ruptured fuel line. Tang was conscious, trapped in the twisted metal. He could be heard coughing and crying for help as smoke filled the cabin. His viewers watched helplessly as the flames intensified. For nearly 3 minutes, Tang remained alive in the burning wreckage, his screams gradually weakening until they stopped altogether. The crane selfie falls within 60 feet. Xiao
That's like also my fear if like I was to get a super light airplane, I would fucking crash and die.
Qiumei, a 23-year-old crane operator from Quzhou, China, had built a following of over 100,000 fans on Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok. Her content typically featured her workday high above industrial sites, often dancing or performing stunts at dizzying heights. Her followers praised her fearlessness, each video earning her more attention and revenue from the platform. On July 20th, 2021, Xiao decided to film a special sunset video from the top of the tower crane where she worked. The weather reports that day noted unusual wind conditions, with gusts reaching 30 miles per hour at higher elevations. Despite this, Xiao climbed to the uppermost section of the crane, approximately 160 feet above the ground. The livestream began normally, with Xiao speaking to her audience while adjusting her phone on a makeshift stand. She was not wearing any safety harness, despite regulations requiring one for all personnel working above 40 feet. Today's view will break records.
Yeah, that's dumb as fuck. Why would you not wear a harness and shit? Like, why would you not strap yourself on?
She told her viewers as she positioned
Like,
herself at the
what?
edge of the crane's arm for the optimal backdrop. 7 minutes into the stream, a sudden gust of wind can be heard. The phone captured Xiao, momentarily losing her balance, her arms windmilling as she fought to regain stability. For a brief second, it appeared she had recovered, but then her foot slipped on the metal surface made slick by evening condensation. The phone continued streaming as Xiao fell. The camera captured her face transformed by terror, her mouth open in a scream that couldn't be heard over the wind.
Oh,
Viewers
shit.
watched in real time as she plummeted, the ground
She
rushing toward her
fell.
at increasing speed. Forensic experts who analyzed the footage noted that Xiao remained conscious throughout the entire fall, which lasted approximately 3 seconds. Her eyes remained open, her arms flailing in instinctive but futile attempts to grab onto something, anything, to stop her descent. The impact was not recorded directly, but the phone, which fell moments after her, continued live streaming from where it landed nearby. The audio captured the sickening sound of her body striking the concrete below. Medical examiners later determined that while the initial impact shattered her spine and pelvis, Xiao's heart continued beating for nearly 2 minutes afterward. She was fully aware but completely paralyzed, unable to move or call for help as internal bleeding gradually shut down her vital organs. Accident.
Um, on the topic of internal bleeding, I have this one friend. We called him Beach Ball because he was fat and he was round like a fucking beach ball. But his grandma, she was a wonderful lady. She was so sweet. I loved her, bro. She died because of internal bleeding. But yeah, I don't know. That just made me think of that, so I had to, say something about it. So yeah.
Dental shoot. Abdul Rahman had accumulated over 500,000 followers on TikTok by staging elaborate pranks and skits in public places around Lahore, Pakistan. At 27, he was known for pushing boundaries to generate views. His content frequently featured prop weapons to create dramatic reactions from unsuspecting bystanders. On January 12, 2025, Rahman planned to film a mock
Oh, this
robbery
year.
scene at Narkali Bazaar, one of Lahore's busiest markets. To make the video more authentic, he brought a real gun rather than a toy one. Friends later revealed he had purchased it illegally 2 weeks earlier, specifically for creating more realistic content. Rahman arrived at the
Damn.
market around noon, accompanied by two friends who had filmed from different angles. He concealed the gun under his jacket until he was ready to start filming. Market security footage shows Rahman instructing his friends on camera positions, unaware that the gun's safety mechanism was disengaged. As Rahman prepared for the first take, he pulled the gun from his jacket. Witnesses reported he was adjusting the phone in his left hand while gesturing dramatically with the gun in his right. What happened next took less than 2 seconds. The gun discharged accidentally, the gun fruit hitting Rahman directly in the chest from less than a foot away. The ballistic analysis later
Damn.
confirmed the bullet penetrated.
He shot himself. I thought he accidentally like shot the person he was pranking. Why would he bring it? Why would he have it loaded? Like if it's just supposed to be like a staged prank video, why would you have the gun loaded? Why wouldn't you just empty the clip, right? Or the mag, the clip, whatever the fuck it's called, right? I don't really know. Um, but right, you take that shit out, you just take all the bullets out, you make sure the chamber's empty, you know, click, you know, put it back in, you know what I'm saying?
Between his ribs and tore through his right atrium, one of the heart's main chambers. The video captured Raymond's expression transitioning instantly from excitement to confusion. He looked down at his chest, where blood had already begun spreading across his white shirt. "I think something's wrong," he said, his voice surprisingly calm before collapsing to the ground. Bystanders rushed to help, but the damage was catastrophic. Blood filled his chest cavity, compressing his lungs and preventing oxygen from reaching his brain. Medical experts who reviewed the footage noted that Rahman remained conscious for approximately 40 seconds after being shot. His eyes stayed open, blinking rapidly as his brain registered what was happening. His lips moved in what appeared to be a prayer. Within 2 minutes of the gun discharging, Abdul Rahman had lost enough blood that his organs began shutting down. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Reservoir stunt back.
And that's why you do not play with guns. That's gonna go up on the YouTube. So don't don't play with guns. Guns are bad. I mean, not necessarily. Guns aren't necessarily bad. Playing with guns and the misuse of guns is what's bad. Guns themselves are not bad. Guns can be pretty cool. Guns can be pretty fucking useful. You know what I'm saying? It makes a lot of stuff in the world easier, like hunting, um, self defense. Um, yeah, that's really all I got. I don't know a whole lot about it, but yeah, let's just go on.
Backfires. Diego Cawa Oliveira Santos, a 19-year-old Brazilian influencer with 300,000 followers, specialized in outdoor adventure content. His videos typically featured him performing stunts in natural settings, jumping from cliffs, scaling waterfalls, and exploring dangerous terrain. On August 3rd, 2024, he promised followers the most extreme stunt yet at Furnace Reservoir in Minas Gerais state. The reservoir was known locally for its dangerous currents and unpredictable water levels. Multiple drownings had occurred there in previous years, leading authorities to place warning signs throughout the area. Santos deliberately ignored these warnings, filming himself removing a no swimming sign before setting up his equipment. The live stream began at 2 p.m.
Yeah, that reminds me. Me and my cousins, we used to do that. We had this lake. We had a couple lakes nearby where we lived, but there was this one lake called that we called Big Lake. We normally didn't swim there, but from time to time we were allowed to walk up there and swim instead of the other one because the other one was further. But we would ride our bikes, and there was this like fucking hill. It was steep as fuck, but then it went wah onto a dock, and you could like go on the dock, and we would jump our fucking bikes off of the dock, and then we would have to like swim down and try and get them out. Um, and yeah, that could have gone pretty bad. 'Cause like, what if we had like slipped and smacked our fucking head, yo? 'Cause that dock was slippery than a motherfucker, bro.
p.m. with Santos explaining his plan to perform a backflip from a rocky outcrop into the reservoir, then swim across a narrow channel. "This will be my most viral video ever," he told viewers as he positioned himself near the edge. 3 friends accompanied him, filming from different angles. Santos was unaware that recent rainfall had altered the reservoir's current patterns. What appeared to be calm water concealed a powerful undertow that local fishermen had warned about just days earlier. As Santos prepared for his stunt, he moved closer to the edge of the outcropping, about 15 feet above the water. The moment that changed, everything happened without warning. The rock beneath his right foot crumbled unexpectedly. Santos, mid-sentence in his explanation to viewers, suddenly lost balance. There was no dramatic scream, just a look of surprise as he pitched sideways into the water below. The splash seemed unremarkable at first. Santos surfaced moments later, laughing and waving to the camera. "That wasn't supposed to happen yet," he shouted. But as he attempted to swim back to shore, viewers could see his expression change from amusement to concern. The current had already begun pulling him away from the rocks. Santos' friends initially thought he was exaggerating his struggle for dramatic effect, but within 30 seconds, it became clear he was in genuine distress. The livestream continued as he fought against the invisible force dragging him toward the center of the reservoir. "I can't," he gasped before going under briefly. When he resurfaced, panic had overtaken his features. One friend jumped in to attempt a rescue, but was quickly forced back by the same powerful current. Santos managed to stay above water for nearly 2 minutes, each movement becoming visibly weaker than the last. His final words, barely audible over the water, were, "I can't breathe." The camera captured his last desperate reach toward the sky before the reservoir claimed him completely. If you want to see more videos like this,
Bro.
click the video on screen now and make sure to subscribe. Selfie.
Okay. That's crazy though. Like, yeah, I no longer want to swim anywhere now. A pool is good for me, you know. 'Cause I don't want to drown, bro. Drowning would be fucking scary, you know what I'm saying? That would suck. I would hate to die to drowning. Um yeah, but anyways, chat, what should we move on to? Should we play some COD, some Fortnite? Should we do another reaction?